Alright guys, I am here. I'm going to show you one of my ant colonies, one of my relatively newer ones. Let me see, what's the scientific name? Let's see if I can pronounce this right. It's Formica neoorufibarbis. That's their scientific name right there. I found this colony up a canyon. I took them, they were a wild colony. I do not recommend doing that. It can hurt the ants. It was just such a cool colony. I didn't feel like waiting for their nuptial flight to next year, so I was just like, they've got hundreds of queens. Might as well just snatch a couple of them. Luckily, none of them died, and it's a pretty cool colony. This is them. They're a Formica species, so they do spin cocoons, and what's cool about this species, they have multiple queens. The wild colonies I was founding had thousands of queens. This one here, I think they have like 20 or so queens. They've got a bunch of workers. You can see here some of the queens here. They've got a bunch of brood. I haven't put them in hibernation yet, like on my other colonies. I'm just testing to see if they'll do okay without hibernation for a little longer, just so I can have one of my decent colonies, my newer colonies, out of hibernation. But they're doing pretty well. I think I've had them for about a month and a half, 2 months now since I caught them. You can see I caught them in a jar with a bunch of their nest material, so they're outworld here. You can see all these like pine needles and this bark and stuff. They were nesting in like rotting kind of like pine needles and wood on the ground. But I scooped them up. I dropped all that stuff in here, and they eventually moved into here. Their setup currently consists of an AC. Let me zoom out a little. Outworld. A portal here that'll give them some little mealworms and stuff sometimes. AC Hybrid S Mini. And one of these test tubes, I need to change it, give them a new one, just because it's a little bit moldy. And, oh, are those, hold on, are those eggs in there? Can't tell if those are, eggs in there or not. I don't know, they may be. Let me open this just in case. But they've been doing really well. You can see they've customized their space a bit. They brought some of the stuff in. See some of the workers here with the brood. That one's got smaller larvae. Let's see if I can get a good picture or a good shot. This, you can kind of see it here with this queen. They've got a cool little back pattern. The queens do. It's like a black dot. And here, let's see if I can see on that queen there. It's like black and orange. And so they seem to have replete workers too. Some of the workers are bigger, and their gasters are just stuffed. Like, see, look, some of these workers here, look at their gasters. Stuffed full of honey. They love honey. A lot. I gave this to them. It was full, like, 3 days ago. And they've drunk a lot of it, but I've been giving them a lot of honey, so they're not as hungry for honey right now. You can see they like the humidity, too. You can see they've got, it's a little blurry, but down in there, there's some mealworm parts. They really like the mealworms. There's a larva. Got a bunch of the cocoons in there. Light startles them a bit, but yeah, see, look at that. There's some cocoons. I think this is a species where the larva needs something to actually be able to spin their cocoons, kind of like Lasius neoniger. How the larva, to actually spin the cocoon, needs something to kind of be able to spin off of, which is why I see that cocoons are usually kept on, and the larvae that are spinning them are usually kept on like some of these cotton fibers and dirt, which makes total sense. Obviously, some species don't need anything to spin their cocoons, like some carpenter ants like Modoc. This one seems to need it, though. It's pretty cool. They're doing so well. I'm going to see if I don't have to put them in hibernation. I might do it just for a little bit, but they're pretty cool. I enjoy watching them since they have so many queens, and they're such an active species. They're constantly moving and on the run. Let's see if I can... Yeah, see, look at that. They've got some eggs in there. Some smaller larvae. Let's see if I can count the queens real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13, I see at least 13 queens. I know they have more than that, though. I'm sure some of them are hidden, kind of obscured by all the workers. And I've seen them nesting sometimes out here. So, they probably have more than that. But it's pretty cool to watch them. They're so active. And when I give them anything, just parts of mealworms and stuff, I'll put them in here. They don't eat them in here like a lot of my other species. They'll drag the entire thing into the nest, which is why there's like some mealworm parts in here. It's pretty cool though. Formica. Pretty sweet. I'll put some more update videos on them hopefully here soon. Have a good day.